Before we get to the video, check out my Patreon linked in the description of this video, where for $5 a month you get exclusive content such as sneak peeks at projects like upcoming videos, dioramas, stop motions, photography. You'll get a shout out in videos like this one. I also take video requests. You can see behind the scenes of my stop motions in toy photography, as well as exclusive stop motions in photography. Again, you get all these perks on my Patreon for $5 a month. Link to join in the description of this video. Now let's get to it. Okay, you guys, so a couple little pieces of news and updates that I want to cover in this video. So, let's get right down to it. This first thing here is a Studio Series Spotlight Optimus Prime 3-pack that was just revealed not too long ago at the time of this recording at Luca Comics and Games 2025. I don't know how you pronounce that, but it's a Comic-Con in Italy, I believe, and this was revealed there. And this is an interesting 3-pack because it shows like the designing process a little bit of the figure, where it goes from gray model to, I guess, plastic colors, and then once it's fully painted up to look like Devastation Optimus from the video game, which is pretty cool. I'm not gonna admit the packaging is nice. You know, it's a cool idea. Hasbro has been talking about doing releases similar to this the last, I don't know, year or maybe 2 years in like interviews and Instagram DMs. So I'm not too surprised by this release. They've been teasing it for quite a while, I'm pretty sure. So this is just another example of those Instagram DMs and those convention interviews the last few years having even more insightful info on future releases. So, I mean, these Instagram DMs and those interviews are really helpful in terms of, you know, feeling Hasbro out for future releases in the coming years. It might take a few years to get some of the stuff they're talking about, but, you know, everything that they're saying, oh, that's on the table. Oh, we have plans for this. Oh, we're talking with Takara to do this. You know, you just wait and see. Give it a year, give it a few years or whatever, and that thing is going to come out. So yeah, this is a decent 3-pack here. I'm not getting this. I don't really care per se to get something like this, but this is really cool to see sort of like the behind the scenes process, and I'm sure they're going to do more of these packs if it sells well. You know, maybe something for Bumblebee or Megatron or Starscream, you know, the typical A-listers for Transformers. The pre-order for this goes live today at the time of this recording via Hasbro Pulse at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So by the time this video goes up, it might already be out, but just keep checking Hasbro Pulse today to see if this is up for pre-order. And these images are from the UK website Mifitsu. So thank you for providing those to the interwebs. And this other piece of info I want to cover here is, so Earthspark Season 4, we've been covering this on the channel for the last month or so, that there's been updates behind the scenes that might lend to there being a Season 4 of this cartoon. And now we have some even more updates that give even more credence to a Season 4 coming. So this is from a German site, Fürstenschleiring. Which is pretty funny because I'm like half German. So, and 2 possible new episodes of Transformers Earthspark. So, Legacy of Hope and Hometown Heroes, premiering. Why does it say May 12th, 2025? That was months ago. That's kind of weird. So there's no additional information or confirmation on this, so take it with a grain of salt. So blah blah blah. Yeah, that's kind of odd. It says May. Maybe they mean May of 2026, but it says May of 2025, May 12th. So that's interesting. But Legacy of Hope and Hometown Heroes are these 2 episodes that have, I guess, leaked from this German website. I have no idea what these titles could mean. Again, I did not finish Season 3. I don't even think I started it. I might have not even finished Season 2 either. They just kind of lost me where they were starting to backtrack on certain things, and then, you know, the story just got a bit more simplified and a bit more kidified, you know. It started out kind of complex, you know, with the characters and the inner working dynamics between all these robots, but, you know, as the show started to progress after Season 1, it just got more and more simple, and just certain story beats just didn't resonate with me, and I just kind of lost interest in the show. It was the same thing with RAD 2015. It's the same thing with Cyberverse to an extent, even though it like picks up after season 2 or whatever. These new cartoons, they just don't reel you in like they used to. So I don't know, maybe I'll check out season 4 and catch up on season 3, and maybe I think season 2 I didn't finish. But we're gonna have to wait and see if this is even true. This could just be errors. But the people working on the show, like voice actors and people involved who make the show, they were throwing up hints on social media. I think I covered here on the channel like a month or so ago. So, I mean, we're really just gonna have to wait and see on what happens here with Earthspark Season 4. I wouldn't be surprised if this turns into another animated Season 4 situation, but, it's one of those things where if we get Earthspark Season 4, it's like, why couldn't we get animated Season 4? A cartoon that us Transformers fans, like, universally really, really want. It's got its own massive cult following on the internet the last 15, almost 20 years now. So I don't know why Hasbro is kind of delving into Earthspark Season 4 still, when the show didn't even do good at all, and a lot of Transformers fans don't really like the cartoon to begin with. And, animated Season 4, it's still going strong with the hype almost 20 years later. So, I don't know, it's kind of just a weird decision if this comes out, but I don't know, maybe if we do get this Season 4 of Earthspark, it could maybe open up the doors for animated Season 4, judging by what's going on here. I don't know, but I don't have all the info on why this could be coming out. I've heard some things about, they already had the episodes done, or they already had stuff planned, so they're just putting it out regardless because they already put the time and the money into it or whatever. I don't know if that's true, but that's something that I've heard as well from like accounts on Twitter with Transformers. So we're really just gonna have to wait and see on how this plays out. It really can go either way at this point. There's no real concrete confirmation, but all I'm saying is, if we're getting Season 4 of goddamn Earthspark, man, can we freaking get animated Season 4? I mean, that's a cartoon that us Transformers fans have really been wanting to see for almost 2 decades now, the last like 16, 17 years. And, as somebody who grew up watching animated and, those older cartoons from the 2000s, it just doesn't feel the same anymore. So maybe Hasbro could listen to the fans at some point. I mean, we do get animated Season 4 content here and there from fans like the Kian Carlisle YouTube channel, and you got the stuff that happens occasionally at TFCon. That Bumblebee Prime comic just came out, I think, at TFCon a few days ago, which is kind of crazy. A few days before that was revealed, I actually did a video talking about Bumblebee Prime and if that would be a good idea to do in cartoons. So that was kind of funny to see, and then there was that stuff that happened a few years ago at TFCon with animated, where I think they recreated a few episodes or most of Season 4, if I'm not mistaken. So there's stuff out there, but I would just like official content from Hasbro from animated Season 4. Again, especially if we're getting freaking Earthspark Season 4, man. But I don't know, I'm gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, guys, let me know down below, how do y'all feel about this 3-pack of Devastation Studio Series Optimus, showing the behind the scenes of how these sort of deluxe class figures are made, and just Hasbro Transformers figures in general. I wouldn't be surprised if Hasbro does more of this in the coming months and coming years, considering they've been talking about doing this for a couple years now in interviews and Instagram DMs. So that's going to be kind of exciting to see, even though I personally have no interest in picking up those kind of releases, unless if they do a Jazz or a Hotshot Hasbro, please, I would actually buy that. And how do you feel about the rumors continuing about an Earthspark Season 4 and the evidence kind of piling here from, cast members, people who make the show, and now we're getting information from, like, TV sites, this random German site here, giving us names of episodes. And, yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Catch y'all in the next one. Bye!